Hi, I'm Max with Customers Chasing You. Welcome. Today we're talking about marketing done for you. Sound too good to be true? I thought it was too until it started happening for me, and I love it. I mean, why wouldn't you? You probably never turn back. Now, I'm not talking about marketing done for you, like you write a big check and then some fulfillment house takes care of it, or some marketing agency does all of your digital marketing. Nothing wrong with that. What I'm talking about is with a book. So what I found is that when I wrote my first book, this step-by-step senior housing guide, home to home, is the name of the book. You can check it out on Amazon, or you can contact us and we'll send you a copy. When I wrote my first lead generation book, my educational tool for my ideal customer, I would give it to influencers, people who already were, leaders in the community that had big followings of people, but they didn't offer the same services that I did. So I'll give you an example. In the first book that I wrote, Home to Home, Step-by-Step Senior Housing Guide, it was a book and a workbook, and I gave the book to church leaders, senior housing specialists, referral agencies, basically, influencers in my area, who already had senior homeowners as their customers, or they're under their attention, and they wanted to share the resources, right? And so we were no longer salespeople at this point. We're education. We teach the classes, and the whole thing shifts. And so when everything shifted like that, and now all of a sudden we're the same people, but we're the same teachers and educators as a company, but in the eyes of our influencers and our community leaders, it changed, or it shifted. And so what was the byproduct of that? Well, these influencers, heads of churches, heads of senior centers, heads of cities and communities, got a copy of the book or the workbook, and now all of a sudden wanted to help us distribute it and share the blessings in there and share the education, the information. And that's marketing done for you. So I was like, wow, this is too good to be true. I remember the first time that I did a workshop, it was at a big church. When I say big, I mean, it's all relative, but maybe 2,000 families, 4,000 families, I'm not really sure. But it's a pretty good sized church. And I gave the pastor a copy of my book and a copy of the workbook, and he loved it. And he said, this is a great program. We have a lot of people who need this help. A lot of influencers are worried about letting people come in and teach because, it's kind of problems in two ways. If they let too many people in, they could let somebody in who, has a bad mindset or is trying to do evil and, rip people off and things like that. And so the person gets hurt, but then also, their name's on it, right? So then kind of the other side of the coin, or the other extreme, is don't let anybody in. And then their congregation, their fellowship, their community doesn't get the information, and they don't have that specialty knowledge. So, people are just really not educated, and they're kind of left in the dark. So neither one of those is a good option. But when you have a book and you position it correctly in your marketplace, and you're the expert, the authority, the foundational source, and your job and role in your community is to share. We have licensees all over the nation for our book system. And so they call these places in their local area and they say, hey, we have a book, we have a workbook, we'd like to teach this class, we're part of a big movement, and we'd like to teach this class to your congregation or your fellowship if you think it would benefit them. They get a copy of it and they're like, this is awesome, right? So when you're doing that, they help you. So getting back to what I was saying, the first church, pretty good sized church, they said, we love this, we're going to print out some flyers. So I have some templates that I use. I just changed the date and when it was happening, and I just use the same template over and over again. I sent it to them, and this church printed out 2,000 copies of the flyer, full color, in the bulletin for 2 weeks in a row. So, and then they made announcements, because I go to this church, they made announcements at the church talking about the workshops that we were putting on. I was like, this is unbelievable, so they did all the marketing. And so we had 3 workshops all in the same week that we did. I'm not gonna say I don't know how they showed up. I mean, I know how. They heard about it through the church, right? But I wasn't involved in it except for just, making the template, and then, do you like that move? Sending the template off and then letting them do the printing, and they absorbed all that cost. So it's a huge benefit, right? So we had 3 workshops that week and got 4 customers. So it's like, would you do 3 workshops that somebody else paid to set up, and then you show up and get 4 customers? We probably could have gotten a lot more, but I was traveling a lot and didn't have a ton of follow-up. And so that was, I'm not getting on this show and acting like I know everything or I'm always doing something perfect. I make mistakes too. But it was huge. And so that is a huge, huge advantage, and it happens everywhere. When we go to senior centers, and it doesn't have to just, this is for our senior housing book, but it positions the same way. We have another book that's coming out that's for a little bit different audience, and we already know who those influencers are. We already know who, it'll be coming out in 2020. And we already know who, has those groups and who those influencers are and how it would benefit them too. And so if you can position yourself in your marketplace as somebody who's really cares and loves people, right? That's all I'm talking to. If you're just trying to make a buck and all you care about is making money however possible, this is not the right channel, okay? But if you love people and you're a real estate professional and you want to know how to help more people and help your business grow, this strategy will work. It's a proven advantage. We prove it every day. Our licensees are using it. And so I want you to just take this and run with it. So how do you put this into action? Well, you need some kind of book or some kind of, relationship that takes you to that higher level with the influencers. And if you do that and you can really show how you're serving the influencers community first and you're benefiting them first, they will help you promote, they will help you do an event, and you will be able to share a lot of education, a lot of blessings with their audience, and you'll receive a lot of business too, because you're getting the endorsement of the influencer who knows these people pretty well, and you're speaking, and that's always an advantage. So that is a great way and a proven advantage to use your book and leverage it and use it in the right way. So I hope you enjoyed this tip. I want you to have customers chasing you, and until next time, be well, be blessed, and check out our other videos. And if you like it, you can like, comment, or subscribe. Bye.